I would like to introduce. Wiser.
Hello. Uh, Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna have to switch systems. I think. You would have to do the desktop audio to run it through. Uh,
All right. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
All right. No echoes? Okay. There is a little bit of echo, but it's not going to be bad. I can deal with the echo. Are you still there? Hello? Uh-oh. Are you back? That's not fair. I don't have a camera.
Um,
Maybe I do. This old laptop is about to hate me.
sure. So I'm gonna do that for a minute. I can get this going.
Where are you going?
I can hear you better.
I can hear you.
It's more so I can hear you when I don't gotta be so loud. So I can find my Bluetooth.
Yeah, you don't have to be loud. I can hear you. I can actually put both my headphones on and hear you better.
I've got my Bluetooth adapter. Like that's the off of this. Oh,
I'm trying to get my camera set up. It was on the floor.
actually, give me 1 second here.
Alright, everybody. Now we're all getting set up and everything. You can see my hands. So we're good to go. Yeah. We're gonna see how long this will let us run. And let's have a good show, right, Bit?
Yep.
By the way, everybody, welcome Bit to the show. You kind of already
Howard?
had seen him before here at WebC Official, so have no fear. Bit's here to talk with us about a new experience he's been through recently, and I'm just gonna let him go ahead and take it away.
Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about my first airbrush experience with this entry that I have right here. This right here is my Plastic Addict second anniversary build off for their birthday. This is the amazing wing type. It is I took wing finesse from Build Fighters and I combined it with a amazing Strike Freedom. But the funnest thing about it was getting to use my paintbrush, my airbrush for the first time. Now I'm not like you, Wookie. I'm not as proficient or as talented yet, but I am definitely going to dive way deep into this now. It was a lot easier than the I like the acrylic markers because you can get detailed with them. Less prep time. But with the airbrush, less cleanup, I will say. That is a plus. There's a little bit more prep into it, but it's worth it. I don't have a big compressor or anything. I'm mostly right now. I'm working with someone had gifted me one, and I am definitely grateful for it. I do have a question for you though. When you're doing your clear coat, how do you know for a fact as you're doing it, like with black, for instance? There are places on some of this where I missed clear coat for some reason. I didn't even realize it. I thought I had hit everything. Like, right. I don't know if you can tell. Not moving this, but you look like right here on the upper part of the thigh armor. Right about here. You can see where I didn't quite get the clear coat. But down here I got it. Up here I didn't.
Okay.
But other than that, that's about the only problem I've had is the clear coat. Everything else I enjoyed about the experience.
Yeah.
I'm really wanting to get more into it, especially with what you told me you did with your Barbatos Master Grade, because I've got those exact paints.
Okay. So, with the top coat, like I said, I was trying to give you like pointers, but I was like, you really got to experience it for yourself before you understand what I'm saying. Now you kind of understand what I'm saying. When I was telling you, like, if you just slowly layer it up. You'll eventually get full coverage, and it'll be okay. What I like to do is I can actually show you with just on camera real quick. Okay. So pretend I'm airbrushing this part. You know, sound effects and all that bad stuff. Alright. So say I have a bunch of gloss on me and it's wet. And I'm like, but it's gonna drip. So what I do is I don't pull back on the trigger, just push down to release air and let the air just hit the part. And just like I'm practicing airbrushing it. And what happened is all that paint that's on there will dry up, and then you can see if it pooled. And if it did, what you want to do is don't paint that part again, but paint everywhere else again. And then it'll pull where it pooled, it'll pull it away from the pool, and then it'll dry again. You can hit it to dry again, and then you can give it one good layer, and then dry it one last time, and check it, and you might need a couple more layers. But they're really thin layers. Remember, you want real thin layers, so thin, like you can almost rub them off after they're dry. Like that's how thin you want them. And so now that you know more about airbrushing, I can show you things like that. I can give you that quick example of what you should do more, because now you can understand why I'm doing that, or why you hit that part just a little bit, and then encourage it to dry faster. Then you can work with it more and build up your paint more. But if you like cake your paint on right away, that's going to be where you're going to have those problems, those coverage issues, and lack thereof, or over coverage in some areas, or you'll see the pigment will sag, and you'll see some of the old color under the pigment. That's because you definitely want to build up your primer base good. Like that might be 2 coats as well. So things like that. You know, and it all depends on what you're painting with. The Createx brand, I highly recommend just it's like the automotive method is what I call it, or the auto body method. And if you follow that method with Createx, it works really good. Needed some water. Yeah, water. Alright. So guys,
as Lena would say, hydrate.
yeah, our friend Belina, she's awesome. Shout out to our friends. Belina is doing great.
Hell yeah. Can't go wrong there.
She got worried that I left her Discord page, but nobody's gonna scare me away. So, yeah, she's a pretty awesome moderator. She stepped in real quick, and she was like, "Don't worry, Webc's an older person. He doesn't understand." And the other people were like, "Oh, freaking boomer." And I was like, "Hey, I'm not a boomer. I'm an elder millennial."
Hell yeah.
Alright.
We are of the Hobbit generation.
Definitely. So you're gonna be pulling out your airbrush stuff and looking at it. I am working on Project BORG still. We're just getting parts polished up, sanded up, and ready for paint and customizing. So after customizing, we'll have a little touch-up work to do on them. But that's a really nice
This right
airbrush.
here is my new one.
I have one like
This
that.
Is it good?
I use it as my primer. I put the .05 on it. It's the biggest needle of the 3. You got a 3-pack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the biggest needle of the 3, and that's your primer, and then your other one that you have, use the middle one, which is a 3, and that will be your regular paint. The 2 is for super detail, like doing Warhammer minis. You won't get good coverage with the 2.
Alright, so just out of curiosity, if I were to use the 2 for, say, like, detail parts, like, certain, like, say, lines, like panel lines on, like, a car or something like that, could I?
It's iffy.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like some things, yes, like I can point out. Let me pull something else. Okay, this guy. So if you wanted to like detail just those jets on his back, with the 2, it would maybe give you a little bit of overspray, but you're gonna be spending a lot of time.
okay. So basically just stick with the 3 and the...
Yeah. So like the 2 is for like if you wanna draw caricatures and letters and stuff, if you wanna add that type of stuff, you would use the 2 because it doesn't let a lot of paint through, doesn't let a lot of air through, and when you use stencils, you take the 2 and you just lightly go over those stencils, and then when you pick the stencil up underneath it, the 2 will do a really good job of like filling in that stencil without using a whole bunch of paint, so there's no dripping or smudging. It'll just be just the right amount of paint. That's what the 2 is for. It's really like a final detailer. Like maybe if you wanted to do weathering and you want to like do a wash with it, you could use the 2 as a washer. Like you could wash with it to get a weathered job on it. For like doing rust on rivets, like making rust strips on rivets.
Yeah.
The 2 is great for that. Is that detail? That's how detailed it can do. So give that a thought. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
And you have access to that. You have that right there. You know? So
This is one of, like, when I started getting into this, like, well, back into it, like, I've talked about it back when I was running around when Wayne was just beginning to allow Gunpla to come over here before Gunpla was Gunpla to us. Very much like we've said, me and you talked about it, purists, like competitions and stuff. But doing this now with the being able to hit Ash and not being so, lack of better words, gatekeep, because that's really all it was. And, yeah. Anyways, but with this being able to do now, like it just it opens up a lot more possibilities for me
right.
because I was limited to what I could do as far as paint job.
Yep.
Plus, I also get to make my own shades of paint now too. So.
Exactly. Along with that, you'll develop your own style much quicker with an airbrush.
I like that. I like having my own style of things. One reason I like being a kickbacker.
I don't know if I have a style yet. I haven't really just. So far, it's been more whatever the competition calls for. Do the best, you know.
You are a basher, man.
Oh yeah.
You're just like, I would say you're more of a top basher because you can adjust. Because that's not a bad thing either. No, in my mind.
No,
you kind of like that music power to adapt.
My straight builds are pretty forward, nice, and sometimes I don't know, more daunting because I'm not customizing them. So I have to. Everybody knows the flaws. Everybody knows what to look for in the kit to see if I corrected or found those mistakes a problem to me as a builder. So that's a thing, that I've seen other people asking me and looking at my work for is, did you come across these challenges as well? For my last competition, I came across some pretty big challenges. like I had trouble. I almost had to buy a third kit. That's how that's how big of trouble I was in. So
That sounds like what happened with my death strike that I was learning how to do master grade matches with.
yeah, so I don't really talk about my competition builds like when I go through the bads. There's bad. Okay, there really is. There's those
There's
bad
always
days. And,
there's always gonna be where you wish you would have put down the part for a second longer than you did because it might have turned out differently.
right.
It's it's also like when you're in like a video game or drawing, you should have gone right or you should have shaded lighter or everybody's got those days.
Yep. So I had a couple of those days during my last competition build. However, I powered through it, and I won the bid. So that that was that, and now we're on to learning more. I am now doing my cross universe build right now, like one that I've never done before, like completely out of my wheelhouse. Star Trek. That is definitely outside of my wheelhouse. I'm pretty excited. I've got this really cool idea for some. I'm gonna bust out my water-based paints, and I'm gonna paint the inner frame to look like it's
I gotta find
glowing. It's just gonna look really cool. I saw this build the other day where this person made it look like their kit was glowing purple under silver. And it was crazy. I was so impressed. I was like, hey,
yeah.
I can do that. So this is like,
Let me know. Send me a link on that one because that sounds cool.
yeah, I'll have to find it. And I think they were sharing it in one of the other discords that I'm in.
Other thing I want to learn how to, that I want to like learn how to use is this.
What is that? It's
Is
too shiny.
It is acrylic glow in the dark paint.
Oh, so heads up.
They
Some
said
of those
they
glow
said
in the dark brands, they don't mix or airbrush well.
I know I was actually gonna like look into that brand a little bit more to see which part I'm gonna have to learn how to do first. But from the Dollar General,
Yeah, hey, it's paint is paint. It's acrylics are acrylics. They're all those mixing solutions from Createx. You can add those to those cheapo acrylics to make airbrush paints with those. You know that, right?
yeah, I was wondering that. That was gonna be what I was going into next, with, like
Yeah.
the way I was setting this up.
It's just a little bit different of a recipe. You'll have
That's
to
what I was.
add you have to add more of those solvents to get it to thin out more. So it's like less pigment, more solvents type of thing. That's
See,
awesome.
with see, I, I went by the recipe or the guidelines that you gave me for the black that I used with the type F here,
Yep.
and I had to make an adjustment, like you said, I might have to do. Instead of 9 drops of paint to the one of the solutions that you said, I've had to like do 10 drops of paint for those parts of solution, and depending on like what time of the day around here right now, that can even vary. It's weird.
Uh-huh.
Then again, I am in a basement.
Yeah, moisture levels and contents are gonna matter.
Now, I'm also looking into one of those moisture tanks as well.
Ooh, those. All right, we have been going good. We're
Yep.
almost at the end. You're not gonna run this commercial real quick, and we'll be right back. All right. You can keep
All
chatting,
right.
but the fans are gonna see the commercial. So.
All right. So
Master
like
Grade
I
Wing
was talking
Gundam
to you
for
earlier, next week I want to get a hold of you and talk and like try to get together with and start this all going. And me and you, what are we still doing about the gyro wolf thing?
taking this plain old wing kit from this
Okay.
to this work of art.
I'm trying to go over what
This build was a task of labor and love for the hobby. Adding more wings and a premium paint job helped elevate this kit to new
from what I've
heights.
been gathering, all they've really
Join us at WebC Official for more spotlights and live shows.
like heavy doses of being I just gotta be able to wrap my head around a little bit more.
Alright. And we're back. Alright, everybody. Me and Bit were just giving you a little sneaky peeky of the Wing Gundam BORG Championship build-off that I built. That's the commercial that just played. Just,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was, so I think we're gonna be doing, this weekend I get to put the first gloss coat on Shining Death. So we're gonna have a video running of him soon, or them, or it, whatever. It's a robot, so we're gonna have that guy. And yeah, that's the next video coming. So it's been a month of the Wing Gundam, so pretty cool. We've had some viewers stopping in and stuff, but I don't have.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, you guys stop in, leave the chat. I do have the chat box kind of. Okay. So I can check and see if you guys are chatting with us. So that's pretty awesome. But, yeah. This is a pretty nice setup. I'm happy that we're actually able to stream tonight. Last week was miserable. I was having a hard time. I couldn't get anything to work today. So I'm so happy the computer's doing its job tonight. I know it's not super helpful, but you know, we're here. Let's be thankful the computer's doing its
I'm actually glad I was able to come on tonight because as as you know, Websy, I'm kind of dealing with a family matter of my own, and I wasn't able to do my podcast last night due to that matter. But thanks again for having me on. It's been a while.
definitely. I'm glad to have you. And
But yes,
this is all about that matter and everything, right? It's just, I just, like I said, it'll be good.
yep, that is true. I one thing I really want to do to this kit, like I said, when I was going through everything with this kit during the actual build process. I think it was after I had my little fridge and whatever that was. Basically, I basically did what you were doing with your Verkata, and I was looking at where I was gonna have to buy extra parts and look at having to look at a reapproach before I got my airbrush out,
Oh yeah.
and I pushed through. Like I had to rest for 3 days, and this being my first comp since I was 20, which those who don't know, I am now 40 years old of this year.
Yo,
Yeah, I'm a I'm an old dusty fart.
nice.
Now where's my raw stank out? Sorry, that was a Big Money Rustlers like pun.
It's like I thought I was getting that from somewhere. That's on Tubi right now. You can watch Big Money Hustlers and Big Money Rustlers on Tubi.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, I thought that was
The
fun.
only thing they're missing is the original movie, Bowling Ball.
Oh, that's not. That came between the two. Bowling Balls
I
is
thought
from Hell's Pit.
Yeah, but I thought that was before Big Money Hustlers. Big Money Hustlers was supposed to be their like their first major production that they did together.
Yep,
But Bowling Balls is considered with some lows and let's a glorified long music video
Well,
with some
okay.
story in it.
Well, what I like to refer to it as is, and now don't nobody hate me, but I like to refer to it as a Michael Jackson cut. And if you're from the generation, you know what that means. It's set up
Yeah,
just like a Michael Jackson cut.
I mean, there's a whole reason they call it the Michael Jackson cut. It's not because it's not only because it's Michael Jackson, but because like the way he did that, the transition period, and that's why Jay did that movie the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
The transitions and everything was supposed to be a spoof, supposed to be funny. It was. And the funny thing is, both of those ladies in the beginning of it was their wives.
So, Big Money Hustlers came out, and that was an alright movie. My 16-year-old self loved it. I remember it. But then, when Hell's Pit came out, if you bought the special CD, you got the DVD, and that had the whole movie, like quote unquote movie. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
in that one, it was pretty good. But then when they released it later on YouTube, they cut it down. It's like white cut down, so you don't get the full thing, which that kind of sucks. But either way, you can find it still somewhere. I'm not sure where.
Hey man, you can find a lot of things somewhere because look at this.
Oh wow!
I've got dude, it's even got the parental advisory explicit content.
Yeah.
It's like the 90s version of that. Like it's got Tilt-A-Whirl. Let's go all the way. Boogie Woogie Woo will come to you.
Oh, is that their mix?
Rainbow stuff.
That's the mix album, right?
Like this. This is their self-titled one. Yeah. This one came out in 2011.
Okay. So those are mixes from their 93 to 98 albums. That's what that is. That's a mix of those albums.
There is there are two pre to that. There is technically a 91 song here and 92 song here.
Oh, really?
What is a Juggalo? What is a Juggalo? Hocus Pocus. And in between those years, the you mentioned and I mentioned, we have the net.
Okay.
And Boogie Woogie Woo, like I said, We've got a true old school. I forgot. I skipped over this. Old school piggy pie.
This little piggy. Okay. Yeah,
Stop,
I better
stop,
not get in
lug,
trouble.
stop.
We're live. I better not get in trouble. Yeah, I will go straight into some ICP
Sorry.
karaoke. Let's go
Oh
all the
man.
way. Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way.
Hey, what was I forgot the name of the band that did that on top of the van with Jump Steady. They're back though. That band is back. The Let's Go All the Way band.
I'd have to go look it up.
But yeah, they put out another album and it's actually really cool.
Cool.
They definitely look great.
Thank
I wonder
you.
what Jump Steady looks like these days.
Thank you, Discord, for showing your names. I appreciate that. So people knew where to find us on Discord.
No, yeah.
Just so you guys know, I'll do that one more time. Those are our Discord handles. Alright. So we're on that. Anyways, oh sweet, we're at 36 minutes. We're only gotta do like 20 more minutes, buddy. So that's
Oh,
the
good.
minimum.
I'm actually just looking more.
That's the minimum.
I didn't. Another thing that I noticed when I was going through this, like, I only had a month to assemble this and sand it, wash it, everything I needed to do within a month. That's kind of short time for a basher to get something like this done for his first time. I think I did rather well for my first time.
I think you did too. I enjoyed watching you build this kit and work your way through this kit. It was awesome watching.
So just so you guys Webc knows this. I tell him this quite a bit. Webc, you are my mentor.
Whoa.
Thank you for tricks and tips that you have thrown my way. And with this build, I've been working up to something like this. All the kits that you have seen all over my Discord, my Insta, my threads, my talk, my YouTube, all over the place have all been culminating to learn tricks and tricks to get me here to the Type A.
Yeah.
And now I can also go on and finish my Paladin God and my Cyber Valkyrie.
There you
Like, somebody will be happy that the Cyber Valkyrie will be getting done.
go.
But yeah, one other thing I want to ask you.
What's that?
I've got this video that I'm going to send you after a while. Have you been hearing anything about these ships that are these UAPs that are coming off that look more like smoke's coming off of them? Like they look like they're made of shadow.
No, but I did recently see a video from my buddy Tyler over at what is it, Secure Team? Something like that. He's over there at Secure Team. He does a whole bunch of UFO stuff. He has been on top of it for over 12 years. He's been on top of it. Like, I've always gotten the best information from him over there. So if you ever have questions directly about like those new things, I would always check with anything he's put out. But what he did recently put out that I can comment on that I know about was he released 3 photos of these shadowy craft opening up portals. And the 3 photos are 3 different craft, and they opened up different kind of portals too. One was kind of reflective, one was very shadowy, and one was really dark. And then the portals, like one looked like a quantum portal, one looked like a phase shift, and then one looked kind of like the opening of an SG-1. So there were 3 different photos that he released. I didn't see the full context of what he's talking about on there, but that's what I would go and look at. Maybe that's kind of along the lines of what you're asking. But that's where I get a lot of my information from. Is him. He's been pretty good. I think it's like Secure Team 10. Let me double check. I'll double check right here. Let's see what he can say. Yeah. Yup. Secure Team 10. And his name's Tyler. He's a pretty cool dude. Newly leaked UFO video of mystery ships exiting the ocean. And they look like those shadowy videos you're talking about. So yeah, he might have some stuff on that. He also has something else, a video he posted 4 days ago. So go check that video out too. But Secure Team 10, write that down a bit. And check him out. He'll keep you busy for hours. He's got so much good footage and stuff. So yeah, and then other than that, I've just been keeping an eye on other things. Dragon Ball has announced that they think, or the person who's curating the Dragon Ball world now, his name is Toyotaro. He announced that he is going to power scale everybody to the same level, and then he's going to begin the next arc at that. So that's what they're going to start in the next arc, is all power scaled together. How do you feel about that, Bit? Are you lost in Secure Team 10 now? Hey, bro. Mr. Cloudwise. Are you there?
You didn't get that lucky.
Oh. I didn't get that lucky?
Nope.
Where'd you go?
Somewhere with a rainbow.
Oh. So.
I am from Kansas.
This is sound like she's saying somewhere over the rainbow.
Wasn't she one of the ones that could break glass with her voice?
No, she's the chef. She was a European chef who loved to cook beef Wellington. Today, we're going to cook beef Wellington. Oh, okay.
Oh man, I remember now. Yeah, that she had special. We'll go like that.
Oh, yeah. She's
Special voice.
She reminded me of Mrs. Doubtfire. Great.
That's probably where Robin Williams got it from.
Maybe, like, just a little bit. Please. See, thanks for coming in and watching the show, everybody.
Thank you.
And if you're watching the show after it's live, thanks for coming in and watching as well. Leave some comments. Maybe we'll comment back if you say something interesting. Like,
Yep.
What is your first experience with painting a model. Let's talk about that. Tell us about your first experience with the model. That's a good icebreaker.
Yeah, I think we might throw that into a Steel Nerds general chat as well.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not doing much customizing, but soon I'll be having a bunch of how-tos coming up. I'll be working with Celestial there. We'll be featuring over there on Celestial there. And then we'll also have them that we loaded here on YouTube as well. So
Yep.
get prepared to see some really awesome how-to videos coming your way. And other than that, that's pretty much it for me. Just having a good time and kind of chit-chatting.
I love. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick. You just made me thirsty, man. You got no mail, like the person. Like one time, love it.
Yeah, 2 sections. Not 2 levels. That would I would function. Woohoo! Hold on. I can hear you now. Excuse me.
Okay.
Have you come back? Are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Oh, bad. I've got the karate chop action hands.
Could be worse. You know, you could have that reverse kung fu grip.
Wow. We're gonna
Oh
paint
man,
the building.
I remember when every action figure back in the day, you had to have the kung fu grip. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you were nothing.
The only figure that didn't have Kung Fu grip that was cool was Stretch Armstrong.
Oh yeah, can't go wrong with good old Stretch Armstrong. He had something the rest of them didn't, you know. You could literally pull that guy for a good minute before you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
I
were those
tested that theory.
kids. Hey, how
Really,
far have you stretched your Stretch Armstrong?
oh, that far enough to where it came across the room and smacked that across the room.
I think the cops
Oh
are
man.
chasing teenagers.
Feeling Stretch Armstrong. Oh man. Not that again.
Those whoops, they suck.
Well, there's been I don't know about you, but where I'm from, when you heard Stretch Armstrong was coming out, certain parents ran.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it usually meant there was going to be a water balloon attached to it as well. You never knew what was in the thing.
Nope.
I've seen one kid get hit with one that was full of rubber cement. That kid kind of had it coming.
I used to throw wet tennis balls at my stepbrother.
Oh, that's funny. That was funny.
No, not my foster brother. My stepbrother. There's two different things, but I do it to him too. But he was just I had this stepbrother when I was 10 years old, 9 and 10, and he was just a little cat. And he would just catalog me for just dumbest things, right? So
Oh yeah, it's usually how it goes.
ice cold water, soaked that tennis ball, and threw the first one at him. It was dry. He thought it was funny. So then whipped out like a tennis ball, and it went bang. It's just water, just released from the tennis ball everywhere. He said, kids being kids.
Oh, yeah, that's probably there was worse things that happened back then than that. But
Uh,
oh man, there's always the wet towel.
yeah, I couldn't do that type of stuff to him because
Oh, he was that kind of
yeah, it was one of those situations.
over exaggerator.
Yeah, I had to let him play with my toys when I didn't want to. Things like that. And then sometimes I didn't want to shit.
He came from an only home. I'm guessing.
Who, me?
No,
No.
him.
No. He just lived with his grandparents that spoiled him. It was one of those situations. So he didn't understand what sharing meant.
Oh, yeah, that totally makes him so much. Never mind. I'll be good.
I've it happens. I ain't mad at
Yeah.
him. It's the way they raised him. They didn't
Yeah.
give him
Well, no, like I said, that's not his fault.
They were
Can't,
like,
can't
"You're
blame it.
his brother." I'm not his brother. It's my stepbrother. Treat him like one too. If
Oh
he
man,
was
there was a few times like my sister, she she was we did not get along
right,
as kids at home. I love my sister as a sister, but as a person, she was very. As soon as she had my parents, like that, that she could get away with whatever. Uh, it didn't matter what. She went as far as hitting me right in the good old family jewels with a Guido.
uh-huh, sad.
And then when I retaliate, went to go retaliate, she went right behind mom and
Mm,
just stereotypical thing that
oh yeah,
siblings
I
do
can
in those.
believe that. I, you know, your sister is super mean to you, and then you bang your head against her door a couple times to let her know you're angry, and she runs off. Tells mom, he's crazy. He just hit his head against the door.
I wonder why.
And my mom replies, you're lucky he didn't hit you. Just a quick response, like, you're glad he hit the door.
Yeah. Oh man, like people in school, I think it's funny because there was people like that in school too. They 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 start stuff and then they go off, and then you hear about them a couple of weeks later getting jumped down the street because they got to open their mouth about something else. And you hear about all these things going on, and then you go home and you tell your siblings about it, and they still do the same thing.
Right?
Why is
Yeah.
it it seems like as I go through the years, I start to see things develop. And looking back now, I wish I would have like listened to my grandparents, because a lot of those old like uh had to walk a mile in the snow type thing. Yeah, those were exaggerations, but a lot of those other ones that we all thought were what is it? How can I put this cliche? Are actually kind of
Yeah.
dead on money. Weird old age get you.
It's that old wisdom.
Wisdom to know how to use your knowledge.
Or it's just like, I follow this guy on social media. His name is Josh from the UK. And you might have heard of him. He's hilarious. But when he comes to America and visits, he likes to experience new things. So just recently he posted that he finally got to smell, like he got to smell the rain. And it was, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, you can't, that doesn't happen in Europe? You can't smell when the rain's coming? And apparently you can't. But here
No,
in America you can.
well, there's also one other thing that we have over here that they don't over there. Like
trees.
There's that. And a lot of like people that don't have similar heritage to us or as thick as ours. The reason they can smell the rain over here is because of the heritage of our native side. If you go back and you look at stories from like the Wild West and stuff, like when they first started like the colonial times and certain things, you'll hear about our people saying it's gonna rain, I can smell it, and other people will be around like it ain't gonna rain, and before you know it, it's raining.
Right.
But it might also be kind of more along the lines of they don't have trees. A lot of them, at least.
Three pieces.
Did you look into that dragon skull? It was found in Romania, I think.
The what?
The dragon skull found in Romania.
Oh, I've heard about this. Like, I thought you brought that up to me a couple days ago, and
Yeah, I didn't know if you looked into it anymore. Yeah, they found it in the bottom of a well. Guy was digging a well, like the old traditional style of well digging, and over there, and he comes across the thing. You can clearly see it.
Yeah, I saw that, but I haven't seen like any further. I'm waiting for an update.
Yeah, of course, it's only been out a couple days, I think. Whatever, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for information on the eggs that they found on this volcano.
Are they watching the eggs?
They
like, I hope so.
I think that they might have relieved that cluster of one, which I hope they didn't, because how many times have we seen that play out wrong?
What would it be?
They have no idea. Literally, they have no idea what these things are. These things are because they're not game.
Are they smart enough to not touch them?
I'm guessing not, because there's archaeologists that released that took out of a sealed tomb a demon slaying sword. You don't do that either, but they did it. They even took off the warning that sealed it shut. Yeah. So if there's a temple in the ground sealed off with something like that, and it's 3 to 4-handed sword, heal that thing back up and close it the way you found it, but with new, and walk away.
I just think some people just haven't watched enough Jackie Chan.
It's not just Jackie Chan. At that point, they haven't been watching their heritage of horror movies. That's one thing I love about the place. It's like when you play a video game and it says you have the option to take this item that may harm you really bad because it has weird energy, or you can leave it and walk away.
Let's roll for initiative.
Yeah, roll 2 d10s and a d20 for perception and dexterity. No, there will be no wild shape in this one.
Oh, I was gonna say, while we're at it,
And fireball is disabled.
no fireball? What?
Yeah, and remember, only you can prevent dungeon fires. Dungeon fires. Kill the wizard first.
Dungeon fire. Pew pew.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh, there's another way of saying. There's a new I found out there's a new abbreviation for MILF. It's not what we grew up with. It's, man, I love Fireball.
Oh no.
Man, I really like Fireball. Something like that.
Did you hear they're making another movie?
Do you know another one?
They're making another American Pie.
Another Pie?
Yeah.
Just turn that franchise out, I thought.
At least this is what I'm hearing. I might be wrong.
I haven't seen Stifler or anything in a long time.
Let's see.
That's gonna be different. Oh, so I have seen the new Rose Tyler for the new Doctor Who, like I was saying earlier. Like they're bringing back, like, you remember Music Man? You remember how they dressed in that time period, like 30s and 40s?
I can recall the
Pinstripe, like,
dressing. Yeah.
yeah. Basically, that's the style of Doctor that they're going all the way back to. So it's first generation, second generation, possibly third generation.
So the AI says a new American Pie movie, tentatively titled American Pie 5, is in the works and slated for release in 2025. The film will focus on the main character as they navigate middle age, including Jim and Michelle raising teenagers, Stifler wrestling with his party king persona in a more subdued world. The writing and directing duo behind American Reunion, John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossenberg, are back for this installment. You can watch this video to see a teaser trailer for the upcoming American Pie movie. Dun, dun, dun. Alright, that was enough for WebC official. We ain't getting paid. Oh, excuse me, I have to burp.
I'll think about it. Excuse me, that is.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
So
back
that
to you,
is
Bob.
what I know about that. So sometime this year. Yeah, there's a lot of good content coming out this year, movies and stuff. Like, I'm excited.
Yeah. Oh, I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do with Unicron, the Transformers movie coming up.
Unicron?
The Rise of the Beast is like that's only part 1 of Unicron saga, from what I'm gathering.
Oh, really?
Yep.
From
what I've been hearing through the web work, they're gonna be trying to work in Cybertron transforming back into Prime.
Okay.
That ought to be interesting. I wouldn't complain about that. I don't know. Of course, I did like the way that they did with one Transformers One. I thought that was really cool.
I did watch Transformers 1. I've watched all these movies, but I thought they were going in a different direction after they came out with Transformers 1. I didn't think they were going to go back to the other movie. You know what I mean? I didn't think they were going to go back to that timeline. Because I thought in that timeline they're going to do G.I. Joe.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to...
So I don't think it's going to be Transformers fully. Hasbro is trying to build their universe in the live action, is what they're trying to do.
Well, there is a crossover series in the comic book part of Transformers and G.I. Joe. It is a 3-part comic book.
Well, I'm excited because it could possibly get us Captain Planet.
Oh man.
So
they have been waiting for there has been like hints of that movie for so long now.
Well,
like there was one where Captain America, they're saying in the movie, Captain America is actually the villain. He goes crazy. Like they lose full control over him.
Captain America? What? No. Captain Planet, bro.
Yeah, Captain Planet. You know the rings combined.
Yeah, Captain. There's no Captain America.
No, I meant to say Captain Planet.
Well, they do have an evil captain.
Yeah, well,
the polluters, the 4 polluters or whatever, create an evil captain to fight the good captain. I remember that.
Well, I know that he has like there's a rage factor there too. If he gets so angry or something, they or one of them gets out of control with their emotions because they're all tied together with that. They do lose control of him. I think at one point they couldn't get him to, because he was fighting the back of war. It's been so long since I've seen that show.
I don't remember Captain Planet being like a bad show, but I do remember them touching on racial things in the show.
Yeah.
You know, like
well,
call them to promote equality and stuff. You know, like they did touch on it. To like say, hey, it's because we look different. Don't mean we like different things, or don't mean we can't enjoy the same things and stuff like that. They did a lot of that in that show.
Yeah.
Which was good. It was great for everybody. It was great for all the kids that watched that. I thought so.
Yeah, I mean, that show was really good for a lot of reasons, and that was one of them. There was a lot of good stuff I learned from that show.
Yeah.
And there's not enough of that kind of stuff out there anymore, I don't think.
Oh, now there's Barney.
Oh, they brought back Barney.
Yeah, they're bringing him back. That's all.
Tic-tac-toe. I'm sorry, but there's only one way I can go with this. Tic-tac-toe, 3 in a row. Barney got shot by a GI. My mama called the doctor, and the doctor said, "Whoop, there it is, Barney."
That's old.
Yeah, but it's still very relevant now because of this.
They're 3D animating him.
It doesn't matter.
That
the guy that played him first wounded. Okay.
Well, he's in jail.
Yeah. I think he's dead now.
Well, he went to jail for. For what he did. Like, I don't There's no feeling bad for him.
There's no putting that cat back in the bag.
No.
Yeah, better want to get in a genie.
So I don't know. I don't know who the voice actor is going to be or whatever, but it's all CG animated. So even the kids will be CG animated. So I don't know how it's going to flow. It might go, it might not.
like I said, for me, because I know the backstory with Kong, it's just thrilling. There's no saving the character. It's I'll let him die. Oh, before you know, we're gonna have him tell us that he's back. No,
But don't worry, we're gonna have Seth Rogen try to be the conductor on Thomas and the Tank Engine. Thomas and Friends. Trying to replace George.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Me neither. I'm not a Seth Rogen fan.
I mean, he has some stuff that he's good in, but there's some stuff that he shouldn't have done. Like the spoof of the Rapture thing. That was funny. That was funny.
That was right. I did not like his take on that. Oh, what's that awful movie? It's more recent. The Ninja Turtles. There you go. That awful movie.
Oh, like the Rise of the Ninja Turtles.
Whatever it is, he produced it.
I like the one that was. I like the one from the Shadows, like the newer live action. I thought that one was decent.
I thought it was okay.
Especially the second one, where they brought in Rocksteady and Bebop.
Yeah, the story got muddled, right?
Yeah.
We can at least admit that. But I did like their effort to like try and do a good job with the animation, CGI, whatever you call it. They tried really hard. And I just don't think the CGI works. You don't get the effect that you got when you had those dudes running around in the 1990s in those Ninja Turtle suits. Those dudes, hands down, you got a better effect on set while they were dressed as actual turtles in those suits and stuff. I hands down think that was the way to win. And that's why the 1990s 3 movies are going to always be better than anything that comes out. And they're not the originals, right? But they did such a good job.
Well, the live action ones were back in the 90s were actually like early 90s, late 80s. Those were the originals, but the cartoon, that was where it all started. As far as the show.
As kids, we all watched the cartoon. And
yeah,
so when they did the live action, we were like, whoa.
Those are some of the first movies we saw, like our video games and our comic book heroes and like that. People forget that that's only was people forget that Luffy wasn't the only Marvel hero back then. There was also a Captain America back then too.
Okay, so Marvel did a run of movies in the 60s and the 70s, and they were bad. They were really bad. They tried.
There was a Punisher. It was really bad. He went around on a motorcycle with a 50 cal on it. It's cool. Especially when the 50 cal died behind you.
Alright. Well,
but there's a few other things that in those movies and shows. Luffy is the only show that gets any really good credit.
Yeah. Well, Bit, we have passed our time on the podcast, so I'm going to get us out of here. Thank you again for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Hope you had fun.
I did.
And we'll see all the rest of you next time.